The Throne and Liberty update 1.5 should be live right now. With it comes a new battle pass, and even more importantly, there are some massive changes coming to the way that you can obtain loot. I'm going to break it all down as quickly as possible. Let's go ahead and start off with some of the general changes. With the field bosses, they have increased the rate of the boss portals, scaling to the amount of players participating. They say that this is going to spread the players between fights and increase the individual chances to earn contribution rewards. Speaking of contribution rewards, this is probably the biggest change coming into update 1.5. Field bosses now have an epic reward selection chest that you now have a chance to obtain. If you manage to get one of these, it's going to allow the player to select from any of the epic items that that boss has a chance of dropping. This is going to be a good way for you to possibly get an item that you're looking for. Me in particular, I'm looking for, I need the shadow mask from one of the bosses, or possibly get you some massive lucent gains should you not necessarily need any of the rewards. You just pick whichever one is going to sell for the most, which kind of in a roundabout way helps you upgrade your gear as well. Let's move on to some other fixes though and changes, starting off with the Death Abyss dungeon. They have fixed an issue that allowed Karnics to be defeated by gravity. When it comes to combat, the crowd control immunity gauge will now fill more quickly when players are targeted with multiple crowd control effects at the same time. For the Adventure Codex, they have increased the amount of experience awarded from completing any of the objectives. They've also made some changes to the equipment tooltips for items. They've added a new option where you can now preview an item's stats when that item is at its maximum enhancement. When it comes to guilds, the guild window now displays a guild's overall guild points as well as the amount of guild activity points and individual guild member activity points that contribute to it. They've fixed a bug in the Chapter 6 Restoring the Heart quest. When it comes to crafting, they've added recipes for the Queen Belendir and T-Vent equipment items. Those should start coming into the auction house. Some movement changes, they've made it to where characters now have a tighter turning radius when changing direction while using the mouse or keyboard controls. And more importantly, controller changes. They've made multiple controller functionality improvements for navigating menus and gameplay interactions. I don't know if anybody else is playing on controller, but I've been basically playing on controller the whole time, and it is definitely a bit clunky in a few scenarios. I couldn't imagine if I was on console only how frustrating it would be. I'm on PC, so I can swap over to my keyboard when I'm navigating the menus and whatnot. Hopefully this takes care of some of those problems. But for the Arc boss, they fixed a rare issue that caused a crash during Queen Belendir. They fixed the dynamic events Requiem of Light and Festival Fire, making it to where completing the final tier of these events should now grant personal completion rewards. I don't know about you guys, but there was a few times with my guild where we were doing these and nobody got any rewards. Seems that they have fixed that. And that's about it. Those are all the major changes that I see on this list right here. Again, with the most impactful one being that they've added the epic reward selection chest to the field boss. Now, you're not guaranteed to get this, but there is a chance that you acquire it when you receive participation rewards. And I think this is going to be a very nice addition to the game. It's going to make going out to these field bosses feel a lot less like a waste of time. But then finally, to round it all off, we do have a new battle pass. The Phantom Trackers Star Season starts on October 31st, along with all the stuff that comes along with it. That's all I wanted to break down inside of this video. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm out.